what's up? I want to quickly talk about the Tourist Refund Scheme. I left Australia yesterday. I flew from Sydney, and there's something you can do called the TRS, the Tourist Refund Scheme. So if you made any purchases within 60 days prior to departure, then you can claim back the tax as a tourist. Overall, I would not recommend you do that unless you really spend a lot of money and you value your mental health like below the amount you could possibly get back, because it's quite intense. I got to the airport 4 hours early, and that was just enough time. So I would recommend you definitely plan in 3 hours. Sydney airport yesterday was crazy. The lines basically after backdrop, you stood in line and people kept on saying how they've never experienced anything like that before. And then after that, the TRS line was insane. It was quite the zoo. I don't know if you've ever done it. I've never done it before. The reason I did it is not because I spent a whole lot of money, but I had just bought noise cancelling headphones finally after 11 years of traveling, and yeah, I wanted to see how this works, and so I stood in line for a long while. It's not a place you want to be at if you are stressed, if you don't have time, if you are with children, if you don't speak English. It's really hard. Just because it's a very stressful situation and people don't have patience there. I stood in line and more than one person came and asked if they could cut in front of me because their flight was taking over 10 minutes, and this is the international airport. Don't go there unless you have hours. Just don't, because I stood in line for definitely 2 hours. And they won't even talk to you if you get to the front and you have less than half an hour. So that's really important. I saw a guy who just made it, but he only had 25 minutes left until departure, and basically, yeah, that didn't end well for him. If you do make it to the front of the line, you need a couple of things. You will need to have the goods you purchased. So put them in your carry-on luggage, because you need to physically show them the products, all of them. You need to have your receipts, the original receipts. What I first did is I took photos of a receipt, and then I was told that doesn't work. You need the printout from the store. If you don't have your receipt anymore, what you can do is you can call your store and let them send you a new copy. I did that. Then you'll need your passport, you'll need your boarding pass, and you'll need a credit card or Australian bank account so they can transfer the money back to you. What you'll also need, and I highly advise you do that, they have an app, the TRS. It's free and it's super easy, and in this app you just put all your details, and then when you get to the front of the line, what you do first things after you say hello, you're gonna scan a barcode, no, a QRS code. So you're gonna scan the QRS code, and it gives the person handling your claim all the information. After that, passport, boarding pass, all receipts, and the goods you purchased, and you should be sweet. Would I do it again? I had a lot of time to kill, that's why I did it. I think it's good to try new things. Personally, I probably wouldn't do it again unless I really bought a lot of things. Most people online, they bought branded items, They were very expensive, a lot of clothes. I probably wouldn't do it again unless you buy something very expensive and you have a lot of time. Don't do it if you don't have a lot of time. It's not worth you missing your flight. I saw a lot of drama yesterday. You can basically claim electronics. You can get your money back for the tax on electronics. You can get money back on a lot of things like clothes, but it has to be 60 days before departure that you bought them. What you can't do is food items that you started eating, anything you can't take in your carry-on, obviously, anything that's dangerous. Um, if you have liquids, they can't go in your carry-on if they're too big. I heard you can't claim a tax refund for engagement rings, so if you're planning on a very romantic engagement in Australia, you might want to double check because I'm not sure on that. What did I miss? Um, I don't know. I think this is it. If I forgot something, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you figure out the engagement thing. Not sure on that. Not planning on anything either, but you never know. Maybe someone else is. I hope this was helpful. Like, I had never done this before, so I looked up the information and I kind of just went for it. I think it's really good to know that you actually need that time. When you read 3 hours in advance, this is not a joke. I was there 4 hours in advance and I barely made it. It depends on the day, obviously, but make sure you have a lot of time. Make sure you have your receipts. There needs to be an ABN number on it. It needs to have the amount that you spend and the item. What else? Make sure you put on noise cancelling headphones while you're there because it's intense. You're not allowed to be on your phone. Everybody was on their phone just because it's 2019 and people had to wait for longer than 5 seconds. Try to be nice to people, please. Don't miss your flights, it's not worth it. But yeah, I can let you know how it worked for me. It's not a lot of money I'm getting back, but as I said, I was just curious how it works. Get the app, don't forget it. Yeah, I'll probably let you know on Instagram, so if you don't follow me there, go ahead. I'll put it in my story as soon as I get the tax back, and then we can see if it actually worked. Until then, yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.